Okay, we're starting the Ezra Hashem Siman Ayin Vav and Yoel Moshe, and this is the Siman where he's finally going to start getting back to the old kashas that we asked throughout the Sefer. We're finished with slugging up the tinus of the Sionim. Now we're back to the kashas. He says, "Ukidei lahavin das maharal shekosav shehu b'yaharg v'al yavor kedin shmad." He says, we have to understand the maharal who says that being over on the three oaths is yaharg v'al yavor, like shmad. Like if a guy comes and points a gun at a yid and says, "Go and take over Eretz Yisrael, make a government," he has to let himself be killed. And he brought this down first in Siman Chaf, and in Siman Lamed Beis, that's where he asked the kasha that how did the maharal get such a thing? How do we ever have such a halacha of yaharg v'al yavor that's not by the three averos chamuros? Okay, he says shebevadai ein zeh b'shvil iser hashvua. It for sure can't be that the maharal is answering this because of the shvua, that you're being over on the shvua, and that's why it's yaharg v'al yavor. Kasher kasavti l'mayla. I wrote this before in Siman Lamed Beis that a shvua is not yaharg v'al yavor. Okay, aval advarim muvanim. However, the teretz is like this: the hinei kostav b'shla kadosh mesech shvuos, the shla kadosh, right? 400 years ago, shla kadosh.
Same time as the maharal.
Basically, yeah. A little bit later, he says the lashanois af din echad midinei haTorah HaKadoshah. The shla says to change, meaning to lie about any din of the Torah HaKadoshah. Afilu loy marak bifnei umois. Even to tell the non-Jews al mashu hu pater chayev or al chayev pater. If you tell them, if they ask you a question in halacha and you tell them the wrong answer on purpose, tzarich limsar atzmoi lemisa. You have to give yourself over to get killed rather than do that.
I did look up the Rebbe that the Satmar brings down as proof that the Rebbe is answering a tshuva on whether there's yeher or al yavor and saying anything true about Islam.
On Islam, right? We're going to get to it very soon. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is the shla. Now, really, the shla is quoting from the Marshal, an earlier source. Marshal is Yam Shel Shlomo Masechta Bava Kama, and that's really the makor for this whole din. So, if you look it up, I didn't bring it here today, but he's going on this Gemara. Take a look at the Gemara inside, top page 1. It's Bava Kama Lamed Chesed Amud Aleph. Tanu Rabbanan. It's going on the din, by the way. It says that if a shor shel Yisrael, an ox belonging to a Jew, kills an ox belonging to a goy, he doesn't have to pay.
Right.
But if a goy's ox kills a yid's ox, he has to pay nezek shalim, even the first time. He has to pay the whole amount.
Is that the real halacha?
What? That's the halacha, yeah. So the question is, what's the pshat in that halacha? It's shor shel re'ehu v'lo shor shel akum. It says
why by a goy does he have to pay then?
So why by a goy who kills a yid's ox? Why does he have to pay? That's the kasha. The Gemara earlier answers.
But I thought even a guy doesn't have to pay a Jew if he
does.
Oh,
so the Gemara answers because Hashem was matir the moment of goyim, because they didn't keep their 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach. Hashem was matir their moment to the Jews in such cases. All right. So what we understand it to mean is that there, within Jewish law, Jewish law protects the Jews. It doesn't protect the people who are living among the Jews in the same way that it protects the Jews. There's certain rights that citizens have, non-citizens have. Okay, there are ways to explain this to Goyim if you want to explain it, but it's better, obviously, not to talk about this to Goyim. So take a look what happened. Tanu Rabbanan, ukvar shalcha malchus roimi. The Roman Empire sent down shnei sradiotis, 2 officials. They sent them to Eretz Yisrael, to the Jews, and they said, "Lamdunu Toraschem, teach us your Torah." So karu v'shanu v'shileshu, they learned it. They learned it a second time and the third time. V'shas b'tirasin, and when they left, Amrullah, they said, "Dikdaknu b'chol Toraschem." We checked up your whole Torah. Ve'emasu, it's all true. Chutz midavar zeh, except for this one thing. Sha'atem oimrim, shor shel Yisrael shenach shor shel Knani pater, shel Knani shenach shor shel Yisrael, bein tam bein mud mishal nezek shalim. They said, what's this din that a guy has to pay and the yid doesn't have to pay? Manashach, I re'ehu davka. If you say re'ehu means only a yid, so then I feel the Knani kinokach the Israel lifter. If the guy's ox gored, the Jew's ox should be potter. If you're going to say that when it says re'ehu, his neighbor, it means not just Jews, it means going too. Then I feel Israel kinokach the Knani lichayev. That even when a yid's ox kills the Knani's ox, it should be chayev. We're not going to tell on you. These 2 officials said, we're going to go back to Rome, we're going to tell the king what happened, but we're not going to tell this halacha to him. Don't worry. Okay, so Tosfos asks over here, Kar v'shana v'shileshu v'im toimar v'ha amrinim b'chagiga hamalamid Torah lo evik kachavim moiver b'aseh the Magi Dvar of Yaakov.
Yeah.
You can't teach Torah to a guy. And Tosfos answers v'yesh loimer the bal karcham asu. They did it against their will al pi divrei Moshel because the king forced them to do it.
Yeah, like King Talmai, who forced them to translate the Torah.
But that was a little better because that was at least Torah Shebichsav. But here, Torah Shebal Peh, it's for sure aser. There's some hold that Torah Shebichsav is mutter that teach Goyim because you know that Moshe Rabbeinu wrote on the stone the 70 languages.
Right, although I don't think we do it though.
Well, we don't necessarily do it, but there's such a shit to that it's mutter.
Right.
But here they taught Torah Shebal Peh also.
Right.
They taught them about the Shor Shel Yisrael and Shor Shel Kanani. So comes out that why was it mutter? So Tosfos says because they were forced to at gunpoint. Basically,
right, you can't lie about a mitzvah anymore once you're being forced to. If a guy says, do you tell me the truth? Do you have the mitzvah of Shabbos or not? Or how do you keep Shabbos? Tell me the Lazar.
So this is what we're getting to here. So Tosfos kasha was, how are they allowed b'chlal to teach Torah to Goyim? The answer is they were forced. They were, they're not chayav to go and get themselves killed for this. He says, v'lo yischayavu limsar atzman. Okay, and Tosfos says another teretz here that they pretended to be Gerim, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to go with the first teretz. So the first teretz is that they said openly, we're Goyim, we want to learn the Torah, we know it's aser, but if you don't teach us, we'll kill you. And they taught them. So, in fact, the Marshal, the Reb Shlomo Aluya, the Yam Shel Shlomo Bavakama, why didn't they lie about this? Just like they were at gunpoint for the Torah, to teach them Torah, they should also say, you know what? The Shor Shel Yisrael, Shor Shel Kanani is all equal. Don't tell them the truth. Why wake up their hatred to Yidden? Yeah? So the Marshal says, you see from this that even in Sakana, you're not allowed to lie about what the Torah says. Why? Because it's like kfira. Because it's like saying, he goes on, take a look at the next line, Vayol Moshe. He says, Ki have kfira b'Torahs Moshe. To say a lie about what the Torah says is like denying the Torah. Ma'ali dibur echad, ma'ali kol Torah. What's the difference if you deny the whole Torah? You just deny one halacha in the Torah. Now, obviously, one could be mechalik. One could say that when you're lying about a halacha, it's not pshat that you're being kofir. You're just saying that the halacha is not like what you think it is. You think that, let's say, the halacha is that a guy's ox who killed the Yid's ox has to pay and doesn't have to pay. If you say a lie, it's not pshat that you deny the Torah. You just lied about what the Torah says. But the Marshal is obviously learning, no, that if you say a lie, the guy's going to look it up later. He's going to find out what it really says, and he's going to say, you lied about it, it means you don't believe in it. So it comes out, it looks like you're being kofer in the Torah. And that's going to be the theme of this whole simon, that anytime it looks like you're being kofer, even if you're not actually being kofer, that's also called Yarag Val Yavor. Okay?
That's the reason the Ritbaz explains why one has to be sitting in front of 10 Jews, because look like he's an absolute kofer.
Right, even if he doesn't believe it, he's
just
pretending.
You just eat one piece of chazar in front of 10 Jews, because that you're essentially like you don't care about Kiddush Hashem.
Right. Well, it depends what the guy is trying to do. If he's trying to make you eat the chazar because he wants you to eat it for some reason.
But in front of 10 Jews, different.
Even in front of 10 Jews, if he's trying to make you eat it because it's pleasurable to him, like for something, let's say he's your boss and he wants you to work harder, so he gives you chazar to eat, and he's forcing you. Okay, so that's for his own sake. You're allowed to eat it. Yeah. It's only when he's doing it to show that the Torah is not true.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now, B'ayin Sham B'harei. So he says that we see from this the af shehu mamin b'libo. Even though he believes in his heart, b'chol Torah kula, he knows the Torah is true. He believes in it. El sho'omer dibur zeh b'fnei umos b'fnei sakana. He just tells them a lie because he's in danger. B'kol makom kivan shehu dibur shel kfira. Since he's denying one of the letters of the Torah, because this all goes under the category of avodah zarah, shehi kfira b'amuna. Because just like avodah zarah is denying amuna, because he's saying there's another power besides Hashem, so the same way, if you deny anything in the Torah, it's also Yeharg Val Yavor, even if you pretend to deny it.
Yeah.
Okay. Ulahalon atik lashon tshuvas haradvaz shemevar hadvorim b'taimam v'nimukam. I'm going to later on bring down Simon Kuf Dalad. He's going to bring down the Radvaz, who actually explains the reason for this. The mashi yesh boy kfira rachman v'litzlan. Anything that has kfira, afim ein loy machshavas avodah zarah klal. Even if in his mind he doesn't believe in it, but it's dinoi b'yahag v'al yavor. Even if what he's saying doesn't have avodah zarah, like Islam, it's not avodah zarah, but it's still Yahag Val Yavor.
The Buzz actually said on that the Rambam wasn't right that you could walk into a mosque, because the mosque is a place of kfira.
Okay, but I don't know if the Radvaz mentions the Rambam. I looked it up. I don't think that he...
The Rambam did say you can't walk into the mosque, though.
Walking in is one thing, but being shmading to Islam, right? There's a famous Chuvas Rambam, the Chuvas Igeres HaShmad, where the Rambam does say, it seems the Rambam does say that it's mutter. But the thing is that the Radvaz doesn't mention that Chuvas Rambam.
Right. He just says you can't walk into the mosque.
And not only that, he mentioned in the same Chuvah, he quotes the Rambam in many other places. He just doesn't quote that Rambam.
Right, just curious.
So take a look, just to see inside, take a look, Kuf Daled.
Just one more thing. Yeah, so the Shale, the Rebbe says, you asked me whether it's mutter to walk to the mosque. They don't ascribe God to God in the mosque.
He's asking about going into a mosque. Take a look.
No, it's true that the Mal don't ascribe Gashmius to God.
Right.
So he said to the one who was asking. So you asked me whether or not it's mutter at the beginning.
Mutter to do what?
To walk into a mosque.
Really? I didn't see that part. I think that the tshuva is about converting to Islam. Take a look in Kuf Daled. Okay, just turn ahead. Siman Kuf Daled, page Kuf Tesvav.
Okay, maybe I'll look it up again then.
He says, "V'ayin b'tshuvas haridvaz chelak revi." Siman Tzadik Beis. Shenishal Sham, he was asked, if they force someone to go back to the religion of Yishmael. I don't know what it means go back. Maybe it means he was originally a guy, he was from a Megayer, and now the Muslims caught up with him and they said, hey, you're a Muslim, get back over here. So, is he chayav to give up his life for this? But they don't do avodah zarah. They completely believe in the oneness of Hashem. They totally don't hold of avodah zarah. They don't believe in any physicality of Hashem. Okay? The Heshival Zer Advaz, Barichus, Gam Hevi Mefurish Meridva, Zal Shayishmelim, Afal Pishem Yachtim is Hashem. That even though the Arabs believe in Hashem, and one of us, he's one, right? Mikol Makom, Avodah Zarah Gemurah Chashuva. It's still called Avodah Zarah, Lehar G'al Yavor. Why? Because Kfir. Shariam Moed Be'emunasim Koifer B'Toras Moshe.
Because Islam itself says the Torah changed.
And they say that there's a prophet greater than Moshe.
Right, and they themselves say that Muhammad was the one who revealed the Torah changed, and there's a Quran that replaced the Torah.
So Eina Emes Kemoshi B'Dinim, saying the Torah is not true the way it is in our hands. V'zeh harisa b'chol adas. That's called destroying the whole Torah. V'gara me'agim l'avei shehem b'bihar g'al. Right,
they even say that Yishmael, the Yakeh was not Yishmael. They even say.
The oid cost of sham, and the Radvaz says that sha'af ba'achas mishar averis, even a different averis shadinam yavor v'yal yeharig. That even, let's say, without 10 Jews, let's say a guy comes up to a Yid and says, eat chazer, or I'll kill you. Yeah. So what's the din? Eat it, right? But he says that's only if he says stam, eat it. But let's say he says they say eat chazer because the Torah is not true. Then chayav limser nafsho, then you have to give your life. You hear?
Yeah.
Okay. So
that one could believe the Torah is absolutely one. Yes, it can still be an absolute kafir, like the Muslims.
So now, v'hamaram shik, back to Siman Ayin Vav. Okay. V'hamaram shik b'tshuva or Chaim Siman Shin Daled. Achar shehevi adin dev'chshash apikorsis yihag v'ayavor. After the Maram Shik brings down this din that apikorsis, just like the Radvaz says, apikorsis yihag v'ayavor, he says. Even though you don't have in mind avodah zarah, cost of oid. The Maram Shik says another chiddush. The af b'makom shehi rak sveka d'chshash apikorsis. Even though it's a suffix. Now, what does he mean by a suffix? He means that, let's say you're going into a base a minus. He brings down that there's a famous statement of Chazal and Shabbos Daf Kuf Yud, I think. He says that afilu adam roidef achra of the hargoy, even if a man is coming to kill him, or a nachash, a snake is coming after him to bite him, he could go into a house of avodah zarah to save his life, but not into a house of minus. So the Maram Shik brings this down, and by the way, I have the tshuva copy off here in page 2, and the tshuva is written to a Rav who is more canoistic than him, and this Rav didn't want anyone to go into a reform temple. He held it was also to go in, like the base minas.
Well, obviously it is.
The Maram Shik didn't agree with that. Maram Shik wrote that Meich Tesi, who said it's also to go into a temple.
Oh, really?
So Maram Shik says this Rav attacked him from this memra. He brought down this memra of the Gemara on Shabbos that you can go into a avodah zarah to save your life, but you can't go into a base minus. Okay, so he says. V'ho emes, he says v'yadati ha-gemara hahu, the third line from the top, he says I know that Gemara, aval heina emes based avodah zarah, afilu rak oimid sham avodah zarah, chol inyani tashmish avodah zarah asur ba'anoah. He says basically this Gemara is the opposite of what it should be. Avodah zarah, the whole house, the whole building is asur ba'anoah. Everything there is asur ba'anoah. And still, the Gemara is matir you to go in to save your life. And by a base minus, we don't find anywhere that the building becomes asur, just because people go in there and they believe in heresy. And he says like this: V'hadi asur beveis minim. Cost of aran sham. So, what is the reason why it's asur to go into a base minim? The hainu b'minim la'avodah zarah. It's talking about minim and avodah zarah. Whatever. The minim in the Gemara usually means the Christians, by the way. And he says va'afilu neima b'shar minim. Even if you say it's other minim, not avodah zarah minim, al korchach taima mishum dilam asalam shuchi basrayu. That the reason is you might come to follow them. So that's what he means by suffix chash apikosis. He means that not that what you're doing now is apikosis, but you might come by being in the building. You might come to have a influence from them, right? It comes out that they're two opposite things. The beveis of the avodah zarah shemaisav was saying b'yadayim, by a base avodah zarah where it's not so attractive because they're just doing their old customs. Ein lach v'shlam shuchei. They're not going to draw you in. Base minim shehem minim la'avodah zarah. Even these people who are so into it, missionaries, whatever. Afilu b'shar minim heichad yesh lach v'shlam shuchei. When there's a chash that you might come to follow them, asur lahatzi latzmo. You can't even save your life by going in there. And he says, even though we don't find such a thing, that you have to give your life for that, even by avodah zarah, we need to have a pasuk to teach you that it's Yahar Gal Yavor. He says, it's learned out from there, mimela. Okay, he says, then he says, what about the din of Safik Nefashis? You have a Safik if you go into this Reformed temple, if you're going to get Nimshach after them. So Safik Nefashis Lahakal, your life's in danger, go in.
And what's the answer?
So his answer is, the Shach in Yordea, Kufnun Zayin, in the beginning of the Simon, he says that there's no such thing as Safik Nefashis Lahakal by Yahar Gal Yavor.
That means you should die around to a Reform shul?
No, but according to this Rav, that would be the halacha. But according to the Maharal Shik, no, because the Maharal Shik holds there's no isser to go in unless you're going to be nimshach after them. If you have a suffix, even a suffix that you might be nimshach after them, then you can't go in. But the point is that it's only you have to know yourself. If you know that you're not going to be nimshach, then you're allowed to go in. So Zok the Maharal Shik, he says, and later on in the Tshuva, the rule in this is the Eina Knisa Mitzad Atzma Aser. It's not Aser to go in to the house by just Mitzad Atzma because of the Isser itself. Only when you're going to be afraid that you're going to go after them. Mele, he says that there's no reason to be afraid that Stam Erlich Yid is going to become reformed just because he walked into a reformed shul. Okay, Kitzer. So the Maharal Shik says that even by a chash, a chash that someone might become an apikoros, havis salkadaitach lechumra. But by the way, the Shach says that the reason why there's no suffix nefashos lahaka by Yahar Gal Yavor is because the whole din of Yahar Gal Yavor is the Torah was not makpid on a Jewish life. That this aveir is higher in importance than the life of a Yid. So once that's the case, by all other aveiros, let's say Shabbos, you're allowed to be machal Shabbos, even if there's a suffix. If someone's under the rocks, you're allowed to take off the rocks to save his life. But that's only if it's like Shabbos, where we know that the life of a Yid is higher than Shabbos. But here, where it's Avodah Zarah, and the life of a Yid is lower than Avodah Zarah, you can't say Safik Nefashos Lahakil and say, okay, maybe it's a Safik whether I'm going to do the Aminus or Avodah Zarah, so therefore I'm going to be allowed to go and do the thing. No, you don't say that. Dr. Shach. Okay? Okay, so he says the Rak Sveker the Chashaf Ikros is have a Safadaitach L'chumra. I would have said to go L'chumra v'loy Shaykh possess Safik Nefashos Lahakal. I would have said, but the Maskana, the Maharal Shik is not like that. That's why he says that. You're in Shalom the time way. So now back to the subject of Zionism. He says, taking a government, taking a redemption from Galus on your own, that's a kfir in Hashem's hashgacha in the world. Even the Bnei Ephraim who didn't mean to do it were punished for it. He says, so it was only a mistake they made. They thought that the Zman came. They counted the 400 years from when the Bris Ben of Sarim. The Torah says they didn't believe in Hashem. They did believe in Hashem, but they didn't do what they were supposed to do. They thought that they could decide on their own when the Galus ends. The Pirush on the Yefei Kol on the Shir Shirim Shekas Vatam the Af Shechash Vushigi Azman. Even though they thought it was the Zman, Mikomakim Kivan Sheyesh Kama Kroi Shach Hashem Yisbarach Hu Agoyel. Since they're psukim that say Hashem is going to redeem them, Havi Masha Oisim Be'atzmon B'Zeh Bizroya Baster Neged Amuna. When they did it on their own, that was against the Amuna. Ve'evesi Divrei Ramban. I brought down the Ramban B'Soif Parshas Boy. This is in Siman Mem Hey. That when he was bringing, remember that the Rebbe brought down in Mem Dal, he brought a Kli Yakar at the beginning of the Torah. It says Breishis Bar Elokim. So the Kli Yakar asks, everybody, the Rashi asks, and the Ramban asks, why did the Torah have to start with Breishis? So they answer because to show that the Yidden are not robbers to steal Yisrael from the Goyim. The Kli Yakar says, so what? Why does that have to be the first thing in the Torah? The Kli Yakar says because if you steal, it shows that you don't believe in Hashem's hashgacha. So that has to be the side of the Torah. You can't start learning Torah until you believe that Hashem is the mashgiach on the world, and he makes everything happen. So, bottom line is that what's the point of that? That the Rebbe afterwards in Siman Mem Hey brings the Ramban Parshas Boy. He says that everything in the world happens through Hashem's hashgacha, but there's a heter to do ishtadlus, right? But in one area, Galus and Geula, there's no heter to do ishtadlus. So the Ramban Soif Parshas Boy Shekasav She'ein Lo Adam Chelik B'Toras Moshe Ad Shenami.
And even in areas where Jewish styles, there still is a limit.
Yeah. Okay. So he says Shekasav She'ein Lo Adam Chelik B'Toras Moshe. A person doesn't have a share in the Torah of Moshe Ad Shenami B'Chol Dvareinu Mikrenu Shekulam Nisim Ein Bohem Teva Minhago Sha'olim. Everything that happens is really a hidden miracle. This that we have to do actions, gashmias, physical actions, b'chol inyanenu, hu b'shvil she'ken gazer aboyer yisbarach. That's what Hashem was gazer. She'amar hakasu v'lamani v'rechacha Hashem elokecha b'chol ma'aseh yadcha asher tasa. That we're allowed to do actions with our hands. V'achovis avavas kasav time l'zeh. The chovis avavas ashar bitachon explains why we have to do ishtadlus. Amnam b'inyanei geula. That's all, and when it comes to other things like Parnasa, but when it comes to Geula, Shebeferish Astra Torah Akdosh Shalase Shum Ziz Kolshu, that it's also to do any actions. So when you do it, you're going against the Amunah. So then it goes back to the Ramban Parshas Boy, that everything is Hashem. So if you do it, you're showing that you don't believe in that. And someone who does that doesn't have a chelik in Hashem's Torah, Moshe's Torah. Ukvar Kosav Rambam Beper Chelik. The Rambam lists the 13 principles.
Where is the Rambam list Yud Gimel Ikrim?
In the Pirush Mishnayos on Sanhedrin, in the last parak, Chelik. Okay.
Which last?
That says Kol Yisrael Yeshlam Chelik L'Olam Haba, but Apikorsim don't have a Chelik. So the Rambam goes there at length to explain what's Apikorsim. This is what the Rambam says. When a person believes in these 13 Mani Mamins, so Kulam, all of them, and he clearly believes in them. Hu nichnas b'Klal Yisrael. He becomes included in Klal Yisrael. Mitzvah la'oyavoyim. We have to love him and help him and do everything for him. Even if that person who has a munah happens to do some averis, right? Machmas atayva, because he has a taiva for it. He's gabritz ateva, because his nature forces him, gets the better of him. Ukashnis kalkal adam. Yeah, but even if he does averis, he's still a yid. He's still a kosher yid. But ukashnis kalkal adam. However, when a person stops believing in Yesod Me'el HaYesod, it's one of these fundamental things, Haray Yotze Min HaKlal, then he becomes Ois Klal Yisrael. V'kofar be'ikar, it's like he's kofar in the whole Torah. V'nikra min v'apikoros v'koitis benetias, that term that the Gemara uses for acher is koitis benetias. V'olav ne'amar haloi misanecho Hashem esna. For such a person, you have to hate them.
Yeah, because the Zions are kofar b'schar. No, you're saying if you live in Israel, they mevat l'schar v'aynish.
Yeah, but in a lot more things too.
Yeah.
So ad kan l'shoyne v'ayin sham sheheri choyd uvesoich ela hayesoidus. One of these yud gimel ikrim is shekasavu hu amuna b'bias haMashiach. One of them is to believe in Mashiach. Because of atam sham, why is that one of the yud gimel ikrim? B'ferish mishnayis uvesefer hayad hilchos malachim b'shvil shehu mevur b'kra, because it's stated in the psukim that Mashiach is going to come. V'amistapik b'zehu koifer b'Torah. So therefore, if anybody is not sure if Mashiach is going to come, he's being koifer in.
And there's more to believe. One has to wait him as well, or there's no way to.
Yeah, okay. The cost of Sham, the Rambam goes on there and he says, included in this fundamental belief in Mashiach is also that all the different promises that are said in the Torah about the Geula, that has to happen like this and like this, are true. And now we've explained in this sefer that the many psukim say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who's going to make the Geula. Even before Matan Torah, the Yidden knew about this fact. That Hashem said to Avraham Avinu, Yodoya Teda, Yodoya Shani Meshabdam, Teda Shani Goyalam. Know that I'm the one who makes them into slaves, and I'm the one who's going to take them out. And you can't even get to Kabbalas HaTorah without this faith. Like I said before. And again, this is a reference back to Siman Mem Hey, where the Rebbe said there that he said the Kli Yakar said in Mem Dal, he brought the Kli Yakar that on the first pasuk in the Torah has to say that Hashem gave the Eretz Yisrael to whoever He wanted to give it, and He made us get it, and it's not our own choice, and that's the Hakdama to the whole Torah, and you can't have the Torah without that. Okay. That's why the maharal says that it's Yihag V'Yavor. That those who do like the Zionists and take the Geula on their own, and they violate the Shvuos, they think that with their own power, they could annul Hashem's Gzeira. So that's not just an oath. That's actually denying the Torah. That's worse than someone who just denies Mashiach. So, al kahn. Therefore, das the maharal zal behechlet. That's why the maharal holds shehu beister yahag v'al yavor kedin meshumad. That to do such a thing, even if a guy points a gun at a yid and says do it, it's still yahag v'al yavor k'moy kolo and yanim sheyesh bohem minus ekvir b'torah k'dosh. Like anything that has to do with apikorsis, if a guy points a gun at a yid and says say this statement of apikorsis, he's not allowed to say it. So same thing here. If he says do a Zionist movement or else we'll kill you, you're not allowed to do it because it looks like he's being koifer, even if he's not. Okay, now move on. Gam kahn. Now he's going to answer a different kasha. Masha Omer Sha'afim koifin oisai al yidei misa v'inuim kashim. Rahman litzlan latzis min agalos, that the maharal says even if the goyim force the yidden with death and torture, hachiv lispol shaloi latzis, you have to suffer it and not go out. So he says shalichoira im yoitze machmas misa ukvias kashim. If let's say a person does obey when the guy says go make a Medina, and he obeys because of the fear of death, Rahman al-Litzlan. So ein zeh geula v'cheres. That's not called a redemption. He's not called freedom. He's just doing what he's being ordered to do. That's not called forcing the end. Why should you have to give your life rather than do this? Even if you do it, you're not going to do cheres. This was the Rebbe's kasha in Siman Lamed Gimel. Lamed Gimel, he asked this kasha. Here, Siman Lamed Gimel, he says in the first column, page Memhei, he says Gamein move on. It's not understood. Kol kach the masha nasa al yedei kfir shel ariga rachman l'tzlan ein zecheris. Something that you're forced to do is not called freedom. V'lama nikra zeh techikas haketz. Yeah, and then he says there that it could be the maharal meant that the goyim are not telling you go make a medina.
They won't. Nobody forced me to come.
Right. It's silly. What they're doing is they're just killing Yidden in their place, and to escape from that they have to go make a medina. So that's what he wants to answer there in the second edition. Anyway, back to here. So he says, Omnam. However, we could say a teretz, Gam ba'avodah zara, that even by the case of avodah zara, im oived avodah zara machmas pachad ariga, ein ze nikra oived avodah zara. Everybody knows if the Yid is saying, the guy is saying to the Yid, go bow to the avodah zara, and he bows down at gunpoint, that's not called that he really worships avodah zara. Kiven jahavi al yidei kvi avoinus. The oins command to layavi. All over the Torah, if you do something ba'oinus, it's like you didn't do it. And even here, the Rambam says you don't get the punishment for doing it. Right? Even by avodah zara, if you do it, you're not supposed to do it, but if you do it, you're not going to get misa for it. We don't give him malchus for it. We don't give him misa. Even the hava ba'oinus. He did it under duress. But nevertheless, he has to give his life up. Because this is a din kiddush Hashem. The Rambam in the Sefer mitzvah test by the mitzvah of kiddush Hashem. The mitzvah is to do kiddush Hashem. The point of the mitzvah of kiddush Hashem is to spread the emunah in the world. So therefore, even if someone comes by force and he wants levakish menu lechafosenu, and he wants to force us to do it, nimsaratz menu lemisa. We have to give our lives v'loy not te'eu. We can't fool the guy into thinking that we're complying with his request. Lachshav shekafarnu, that he should think that we were kofer. Afal pisha libosenu ma'aminim boyistal. Even though in our hearts we still believe in Hashem. V'ayin sham. So the point of this was that even though in your heart you still believe, it's not allowed to pretend that you're doing avodah zara. So here also, when it comes to emunah, that no one should even think that you have kvir. Okay, so this is sort of what. Remember in Siman Lam Beis, he asked the kasha here. He said that first he asked, how did the maharal say Yehard V'Yavor? It's only a shvua. But then he added on another kasha. He said that even in the Gimel Averis themselves, if a person does it b'oinus, he's not chayav misa. So what was he trying to be moisif? I didn't understand then, but now I understand. What he was trying to be moisif was that stam, it doesn't make sense. Even by avodah zara itself, the Rambam says if you do avodah zara b'oinus, you're not chayav misa. No, so then why aren't you allowed to do it? It's not avodah zara, it's not chayav misa, so then do it. Bishlam, if a guy says eat chazer and you eat it, so you ate it, right? You did the aveira, but here you didn't do the aveira. Bowing to avodah zara without doing it, let's say ritzicha. Ritzicha is your hard v'yavar, right? If a guy says kill, you can't say I'm not killing. I am killing. You did it. It doesn't make a difference if you didn't have in mind. But avodah zara, the whole thing is in the mind. So if you do avodah zara b'oinus, you're not chayav for it. So then why aren't you allowed to do avodah zara b'oinus? The teretz he's saying here is, but pretend is also aser, because if you do it pretend, the guy's going to think you're being kaifer. Okay. Umevur b'tur siman kuf nun zayin. Even bigger chiddush, the Torah says, aser l'adam loymar shu akum. You're not allowed to say you're a guy, kadei shelo yargeyu, that you say you shouldn't get killed. The kivan shehu aimer shehu akum. Since he's saying that he's a guy, hari moed l'dasam. It's considered as if he's agreeing to their religion, v'koifer be'ikr, and he's being koifer Hashem, ad kan l'shoynai. So l'chayr would come out that, let's say he would say that he's a guy, but he believes in the Torah, and that maybe he'll be mutter. It's only because he's saying he's a guy, and then he's leaving it like that. He's not going further, so the guy assumes that if he's a guy, he must believe in our religion. So it's ki'ilu, he's being koifer. All right. V'harei she'af b'zeh. Even in this case, she'eno oiseh shum ma'aseh, he's not doing any avodah zara there. He's not doing any action. El dibura bi'alma. He's just saying something. Shu sheker gomer. He's saying a total lie that he's a guy. Ve'en boy loy minei v'loy miktsaseh. There's nothing about it that's avodah zara or kvira, and it's not true at all. He's not a guy at all. El oimer ken b'shvil pachas shel ariga. He's just saying it to save his life. Since it makes people think that he's being kafir, he has to give his life so people shouldn't think that he's being kafir. We'll move on the visa. Now we understand that's the maharal. Since the actions speak louder than words. So if a yid goes out of galus, that's considered like denying the Torah. And against the emunah, even if he's doing it because of the kfir, about the getting killed, even though it's not considered like he did it, it's still like the rest of the dinim of kfir, that you have to give your life, even if in his heart he doesn't believe it. Even just that people shouldn't think that he's being moida, that's enough to be mechayev someone to give their life. You have to be mefarsim the emunah in front of everybody. And this you see throughout history, that Yidden gave their lives rather than even pretend to do avodah zarah, and that made a kiddush Hashem. Everybody knows that those things happened. It's famous. And it would be famous too if Yidden would say, yeah, we could be in danger in Galus, but we're waiting for the Gula. But if Yidden say like the Zionists, no, they make up Trutzim and Heterim and they go back to Eretz Yisrael. So the message that the world gets is that really, okay, in the past Yidden held like this, but now they changed. Everybody says, if you read any book about Zionism, you'll say that it's a big change. Yidden used to believe in waiting for Mashiach, and now it's totally different. Now Jews believe in getting up on their own and making an army and everything.
It was all started by Herzl, not by any Rav in the past.
So that's what people, but it's the impression that it gives the world that we're being kafir in the Haftarah of the Torah.